Oh boy. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I have to. Hey guys, this is Frozen Things Stews here, and welcome back to another video. And today I'm gonna be doing a rant on Pixar's The Good Dinosaur. So The Good Dinosaur came out in the year 2015, the same year as Inside Out, which I think is a pretty great movie, but not 100% perfect. And it stars, what is it? It stars Raymond Okwa, Jack Bright, Marcus Schreiber, Jeffrey Wright, Francis McDormand, Jack McGraw, Steve Zahn, Peter Son, Anna Paquin, Sam Elliott, John Ratzenberg, and Tessera, and is directed by Peter Son. And basically, the plot for The Good Dinosaur, it tells a story of tells a story taking place in an alternate universe where the meteor never hit Earth and dinosaurs never existed. No, extinct. They actually never went extinct. I mean, so in a world where dinosaurs and humans live side by side, there's this whole family of dinosaurs who work at a farm, and the three kids, Arlo, Buck, and Libby, must and Libby, what's her name? Whatever. I guess Libby. They basically must be able to successfully do a chore in order to get their stamp to earn a stamp at their house, like at whatever. However, Arlo struggles to do his chores, so he doesn't get any. And he has a rivalry with his eldest brother Buck. One day, Arlo and his father get washed up on the shore. Arlo's dad dies, while Arlo pretty much gets stranded on the other side, on our side of the planet, basically the land. Well, I don't know if it's whatever. And then there he meets Spot, and then they go on adventures, fly together, and then they must get back home, and yada yada yada. Who cares? So yeah, the Good Dinosaur. Oh boy. I'm sure we all know the history behind the Good Dinosaur, and why this movie was a major flop. I'm pretty sure one of the reasons as to why this movie failed so hard in the box office is because of competition with some other blockbusters like Creed and Spectre. Yeah, and by the way, Spectre is still my favorite movie in 2015, and it's way better than this garbage movie. So yeah, but other than that, yeah, this movie was not really profitable. It was supposed to come out in June 2014, I think. But I forgot, that's sometime 2014. But then major production issues and rewrites caused this movie to be delayed to 2015, coming out after Inside Out. So yeah, what a travesty of production this was. What a nightmare. And The Good Dinosaur received mixed receptions, and is one of the least well received Pixar movies, where there would be a side of people who would call this who say this movie is actually pretty good, but most people from my here say that this movie sucks, and it's one of the worst Pixar movies they've ever seen. And if you know me so well, you know how much I really can't stand this film. I really don't like The Good Dinosaur. That's the best way to put it. And yeah, so just for quick thoughts on just a quick thoughts on the other Pixar film, 2015, Inside Out, ultimately Inside Out. I like it. I think it's a great film. I know there's a certain user who loves that movie so much, and he accused me of actually hating it just because I have a flaw in it. But that's kind of stupid. But thankfully, Inside Out is actually no longer his favorite movie of all time. In fact, there are actually other movies he prefers over Inside Out. Like not just Joel's World Tour. Yeah, I think I already gave away that user, but I guess his love for Inside Out, he loves the movie less now. It doesn't really affect my thoughts on it, but I mean, not a fan of some things. I will review Inside Out next year, leading up to Inside Out 2. But now we gotta talk about the latter Pixar film that came out this year. The Good Dinosaur, and I had to rewatch this movie in Disney Plus to be able to get my thoughts out and give like such an honest opinion. And honestly, my opinion still stands. I think it probably, if you know me so well, I've said this many times in comments, and it's true. The Good Dinosaur is the worst Pixar film I have ever seen in my life. It is so bad. It is complete garbage and just devoid of any Pixar creativity. Like it is so devoid of any Pixar magic. Yeah, like seriously, what happened to Pixar? I mean, Pixar is a studio that I'm passionate about. Yeah, I will admit the reason as to why I love Pixar is mainly because of Disney. And Pixar movies are technically Disney movies, but come on, Pixar, like it's such an iconic studio. It's like almost everyone's favorite studio. Toy Story, Monsters Inc., which Monsters Inc. was my favorite childhood movie. Um, Incredibles, which is my favorite Pixar franchise. Whole fingers crossed for Incredibles 3. Ratatouille, a movie that people don't really talk about when it comes to Pixar's masterpiece that much as they should. Because Ratatouille is one of Pixar's most mature films to date. And, even Wally, which I have no idea why people say Wally is overrated. I mean, the Toy Story franchise, so may Toy Story 3 be my favorite of these. Heck, even some of the more hated Pixar movies, I still defend them. Like, I defend Cars 2. Cars 2 is the worst. It is my least favorite. Like, Cars 2 is the most hated Pixar movie, but I actually enjoyed it. Cars 2 is a guilty pleasure. I love Brave. I will never understand the hate for Brave. Yeah, Brave has less defenders than Good Dinosaur and Cars 2. Brave is by far the most underrated Pixar movie. Even Lightyear, I defend Lightyear, but The Good Dinosaur is a film that I personally cannot defend. I think this movie is just so wrong for Pixar. I have no idea what Pixar was thinking when they were doing this. Yeah, I know it. One of the reasons as to why this movie failed was because of production troubles and all that stuff. How do I say this? But I mean, come on, Pixar can surely do better than this. I mean, wow. But since this is Pixar and it's a studio that I dearly love, and by the way, Pixar is technically my second favorite anime studio. I know why people say this is the best anime studio. To me personally, I still say Walt Disney Animation Studios is the best. But Pixar is definitely a close second. But even with everything wrong I'm gonna say about this movie, I'm gonna start off with the good things. Just because this is a Pixar movie, I'm gonna say some redeeming qualities to it. The animation, for the most part, is really good. It's really good. Like yeah, I like I like the animation style of it. Like no, specifically with the background. The background looks so realistic, and the visual settings of it, like it looks so gorgeous and it's so beautiful. Like it is just amazing. Like and it's really mind blowing to see like the landscape of the farm and the islands. Yeah, sure there isn't much, but I think that pretty much gives the animators an advantage to put all their hard work into this realistic background, like especially with the mountains, the land, all that stuff, even the skies, the skies, the river, like all of them are just gorgeously animated detail, and that is Pixar, I know. And there are some really good moments too, like some pretty good moments. I like the scene when Spot like gets to be his family and part ways with Arlo. That was pretty like a good scene. I like the Sam Elliott dinosaur. Like even though he only had like 2 minutes of screen time, I still like the fact that he was in it and that he was in it and I like this really good scene. Basically, Schaefer has mentioned this, and I totally agree with him. Basically, this whole heartwarming scene with Spot and Arlo explaining their families' backgrounds words, with the words, and yeah, it was beautiful. But unfortunately, that's all the good things about this movie. Now let's get into what really pissed me off about this movie. Since I talked about the animation in this movie, I gotta like talk more about it because not everything animation is perfect. I think the backgrounds and landscape of the animation is perfect. Unfortunately, one of the most important things you need in animation is characters. I mean, when you have a realistic background, you expect the characters to look realistic. Like your character designs need to be like your character designs need to be accurate to the background. Like if you want a comic book world, animation, then put comic book. Then your character designs need to look like comic books. Like take the Spider-Verse movie for example. They have a character. They have characters who are like a comic book, and background that is like oh it feels like comic book. It's a comic book, and that is what you call animation consistency. Consistency. With the good dinosaur, on the other hand, you have realistic backgrounds, but you have an animation character design that is so questionable and so cartoony, so much so that you question like how much how these characters could even fit in this world. Yeah, that's even though the animation is really good overall, I think it is very inconsistent considering how the character designs kind of affects it. Like for the most part, my God, these dinosaur designs. Oh my goodness, they're awful. They look nothing like dinosaurs. I mean, come on. And people say that the dinosaur design in 65 is bad, but at least you feel like something with them. At least I mean, at least you get the dinosaur feel of them. And I may not be the biggest fan of Dinosaur 2000. I'm not a big fan of the movie, but at least those dinosaurs actually do look like something. They actually look like dinosaurs. They actually tried, even though yes, they look outdated, just like the movie itself. But at least they actually do look like dinosaurs. Like they at least tried. I mean, did they actually try it all in this film? Like I can like did I don't know what Pixar was thinking. Trying to animate the characters in a good dinosaur, actually making them not look like dinosaurs. That is just no. And but yeah, but there are far worse things than the animation. Like, let's like proceed to talking about probably the biggest issue with the film. It's so slow and boring. Like, yes, sure, I've seen slow Pixar films. Like, for example, Wally. Wally is a slow Pixar film, a slow-paced Pixar film. But I love it because it actually is impactful. It actually makes you feel something, and even if it is slow pace, it does something that will never bore you. I mean, you get a very heartwarming romance story on Earth. Romance story on Earth. Romance story on Earth. And people complain about the space scenes. But personally to me, I thought the space aspects made it even better. Yeah, I know that's kind of a hot take, but at least it actually makes you feel something despite the slow pace. The Good Dinosaur makes you feel nothing. I mean, that's probably what makes Picture so special. Their maturity, the fact that it makes you feel something, their human-like story to it. Like it feels so real. Good Dinosaur has none of those qualities. It is just boring, slow, tedious, and lifeless. Like it is just suffering. Like it feels like you're just suffering. You're just sitting there, just really waiting for the movie to end, or at least do something. I totally expected more from Pixar, making such entertaining films. Say what you want about Lightyear, but at least that movie is entertaining. Even Cars 2 is entertaining with the action stuff. But there's nothing. The Good Dinosaur is just nothing, and it's just basically Arlo Spot just doing something, basically doing nothing, and that's it. And what's worse is that you're stuck with such an unlikable protagonist. Yeah, I cannot stand Arlo. I think he is the worst Pixar characters. I mean, I can't believe people say Merida is the worst Pixar character, but at least Merida isn't annoying. At least you actually understand where she's coming from when she can be a jerk at times. You can actually understand her. At least she feels unique for kind of Pixar character because we don't really get Disney princesses from Pixar, and we don't really get those anymore. Arlo is a nothing kind of character. He's basically just nothing. He's just there to just be there. And oh my god, seriously, Arlo is such a coward. I swear to God, like he's just so sensitive over everything up to the point where he just gets just annoying. He really annoying me, and and oh my goodness, his voice, the voice acting in this film is horrible. I mean, has done like such amazing voice work, but no, it is just so like that is basically that how Arlo sounds like just so insufferable. Like I had to like hear his obnoxious voice for 90 minutes straight, and it is just irritating. And Spot was probably the quote unquote best character from, well, one of them. Oh wait, actually the best character is this time Elliot T Rex, but Spot is a tolerable character at least, but I couldn't care less about his character. The only reason why I tolerated him is because he doesn't talk. That's it. And and all the other characters, yeah, they're just bland. I mean, Otto's dad dies, but you feel nothing from him. Like, you feel absolutely nothing from his character. It's basically just I mean, you just feel nothing from it. And Buck is so mean spirited. In fact, yes, this movie is mean spirited in the first 20 minutes. Like, Buck is just such an a-hole. Like, Buck is such a punk. I can't stand him. He's the second worst character, second one behind Arlo. Basically, like, yeah, he's kind of like, he's just mean, and like, in a bad way, he's far too unlikable. And there is a scene in this movie where he literally just pulls a prank on Arlo by dying, only to like to realize that he's actually not dead, to trick Arlo just by dying. Wow, what a joke! Like, you think that's funny? It's not. It's not funny. Pixar, you make better jokes than this. Come on, come on, come on now. And speaking of the voice actor, what is Jeffrey Wright and Francis McDormand doing in this movie? Come on, you both actors are better than that. I mean, Frances McDormand is starring in a lot of Oscar movies, and she got nominated. I don't remember she won. I think she did for Three Billboards, but I can't remember. Correct me if what about that. And Jeffrey Wright has some really great blockbuster roles, especially with Felix Leiter, the Bond films, and James Gordon in the Batman. Like, he doesn't deserve this. He doesn't deserve to be in garbage like this movie. And the story, I have yet to talk about the story. I'm sure everyone has pointed this out at this point, but this movie is a rip-off of Land Before Time and The Lion King. I'm sure y'all probably know why. It's just so obvious. If you're telling me that I'm doing a rip-off claims, if I'm just making a rip-off claim, then there is obviously something wrong with you. Yeah, it's basically Land Before Time meets The Lion King, but it just but just failing to recapture what made both of them work. Like, by just being charmless and just coming off as just a rip-off instead of just trying to execute yourself well. There is no execution in this movie, and I feel no chemistry between Arlo and Spot, like, at all. They're just lame. Like, yeah, just for a movie that thinks it's a Pixar version of The Lion King, it will never reach the standards of The Lion King. Even if Pixar gets more love than Disney, there are some people who admits that the best Disney movie, well, their favorite being Lion King, is better than the best Pixar movie, and that shows that Pixar thinks they can reach the standards of the Lion King. Basically, Lion King with dinosaurs and not a musical. They will never reach that standards. I don't think so. They will. I mean, Pixar. I highly doubt that Pixar will even reach the standards of some of my favorite Disney movies, like Frozen 2 and Kanto, Zootopia. Those movies. So, oh boy. What? And my god, the ending. Wow, totally ending. Like, first of all, this villain who comes out of nowhere is completely forgettable. I have no idea why this movie even has a villain in the first place. Like there's no need for a villain. And then Arlo comes home. You know what they do when Arlo comes home? He immediately puts his footprint on the house. I mean, the footprint was supposedly for those who complete the chores. So how did Arlo already get his footprint? He did nothing to deserve it, and didn't feel earned. I mean, he didn't even do a chore. I guess his chore is just journeying back home. But come on, really, like that ending was just so anticlimactic. I mean, and it shows that Arlo just learned nothing. I mean, I guess he learned to be brave, but I mean, he barely learned anything. I mean, he didn't learn to actually do some chores. Like and so he just gets a stamp without actually learning anything. Like, he didn't even complete anything. He didn't even accomplish anything. The only thing he accomplished is getting home. That's it. Wow, I mean, what an ending. So yeah, I guess kids, if you wanna like you'll get credit from your parents for doing chores. Just get yourself lost and get back and just journey back, just so your mom can award you for doing quote unquote chores. That is basically what the message this movie is sending. Wow. Um, oh my God. Wow. So overall, The Good Dinosaur is the worst Pixar film ever. Yes, sure, it has beautiful animation from like background animation and some great moments, but the movie the animation isn't consistent enough to be among Pixar's best animation, and everything else in this movie sucks. I mean, you literally wasted a brilliant, a clever concept. You know, what if the meteor didn't land on Earth and the dinosaurs never went extinct? That is a cool concept, but unfortunately, this movie just fails. It's clear that Pixar had no idea what story they wanted to tell when they just decided to make their own version of The Lion King. It's still better. It's still better than the 2019 remake, but that ain't saying much. Yeah, but to be honest, 2015 animation kind of sucked. Honestly, I mean, my favorite anime film that year is actually the Shang-Chi movie, and I think that movie is underappreciated and deserves a far more recognition. And then and there's also some great movies too, like the PS movie, Inside Out, and the underrated Anomalisa. But then you got some duds like this one. You got duds like this one, and any like garbage like Minions. In that same year too. So yeah. Oh, and I forgot to mention earlier on. I forgot to explain the reason as to why I decided to rant on A Good Dinosaur now. It's because I'm actually about to go see Elemental in theaters, and I decided to rant on this movie leading up to Elemental, mainly because it has the same director, Peter Son. I already know Elemental is going to be way better than this disaster of a movie. Yeah, Elemental is already better than this piece of garbage. At first, I was concerned about Peter's son, directing Elemental, but I'm sure he'll definitely improve for sure. So yeah, with that said, I'm gonna give The Good Dinosaur a 3 out of 10. A low 3 out of 10. So also for my rant on The Good Dinosaur, what is your opinion on this movie? Do you agree with me that this is the worst Pixar movie ever? Would you say otherwise, that there are worse? There are some Pixar movies worse than this, or do you actually like this movie and defend it? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my review on Elemental. Bye guys.